Fires it downfield to an open Cup. He beat him for 70 yards in the playoff game.
From managing insanely long jumps to not wearing sleeves, players in the NFL sure do get drug tested a lot, and usually for the stupidest reasons. And well, I'm here to tell you all about it and what's going on in that brain of theirs. Now, the NFL is particularly famous for being extremely strict about its drug testing policy. Man, they test twice as hard as the Olympics. Yeah, that's right. Isn't that just crazy? But I guess it's also a good thing that the league's willing to go above and beyond in order to make sure that the playing field's even, and sometimes they definitely manage to go a bit too beyond that. In fact, they're almost dancing on the border of cuckoo land. It honestly just seems ridiculous at times. Of course, what just happened with DJ Metcalf isn't helping their case in any way. But before I get into that, it's important to tell you that drug testing is extremely normal in the world of the NFL. In fact, if you just so happen to find yourself becoming a part of this world in the future, expect to get drug tests at least once a year. So I guess you could say that they're overly cautious about this thing.
The hustle up so you can get up and spike the ball.
Pressure's coming. Herbert eludes the rush, throws on the run, and it is caught!
In a way, the NFL here is giving some serious first-season Louis Litt vibes from Suits. Now imagine such a worrisome and overly cautious team coming across an amazing player like Metcalf. It's like handing them a case on a silver platter. The man actually sprinted in the Golden Games and even thought of training for the Olympics. He's basically what the experts call a complete package.
Yes. 2nd and 6 to the end zone. Touchdown, DK Metcalf.
But the NFL thought that this package might contain some fishy things in it, so they did what they do best. Yep, the management ordered a random drug test. I guess they don't think anyone can be capable of such greatness. Is this their way of saying that you're so amazing at what you do that they don't believe you? Well, whatever it may be, Metcalf was a victim of this disbelief pretty recently. Yep, it seems like they saw his performance in the Celebrity NBA All-Star Game and were basically just like, nah, I guess it makes sense. He completely stole the show and even managed to land himself the MVP with a double-double. And that was enough to raise their suspicions, which of course led to a random drug test. The Pro Bowler shared on his social media account that he had been selected for a performance-enhancing substance policy collection. The player was so amused by it that he shared the screenshot of the text sent to him by an NFL representative. His amazing finish in the game led to him scoring 20 points with 10 rebounds and 4 blocks. Now, that's amazing for a football player, don't you think? And of course, that one insane shot just had everyone talking about him for a day. I bet you've come across a video of him jumping and making a one-handed catch. It was trending all over Twitter, so it would have been hard to miss it. The video made it apparent that the player was just hanging out casually and having fun. Of course, his definition of having fun includes jumping almost as high as his height, and well, mine does not include that. And from the looks of it, NFL has the same opinion as me because, well, they did call him in for a random drug test.
Wilson is in trouble. Finds a way, DK Metcalf.
But what's interesting about this is that this isn't the first time a player has been wrongfully accused or taken in for a random drug test for a completely ridiculous reason. And I'll be getting into it a bit later, but first, it's only fair if I take a closer look at the process of drug testing. So as I said earlier, a player can be expected to get drug tested at least once a year. And as for the process of the it's pee in the cup time, it's actually very simple. I bet you already know that they're basically just on the lookout for performance-enhancing substances. And by them, I obviously mean a third-party technician that's not exactly linked to the team. This obviously helps make sure that the results are 100% genuine.
Wilson looking for Jalen Virgil, wide open, inside the 20, and he's gone.
At the moment, the league's taking the services of the National Center for Drug-Free Sport, which carries out its dirty work for them. So first, you need to provide some identification. Then, you're given a cup to fill. And what's crazy about this is that sometimes they ask you to do that while in observable view. And that doesn't sound like fun at all. This is obviously followed by the lab analysis and a legally binding agreement. Interestingly, the players are usually only tested for substances that are present on the banned list of the NFL.
So 3rd down and long, a twist up front, able to collapse the pocket. Fields keeps it alive.
so I guess it makes sense that you don't see anyone getting suspended for using illegal street drugs. As long as you steer clear of steroids and PEDs, you're good to go. Now, coming back to the ridiculous reasons why players have been suspended, so everyone knows how amazingly lethal Myles Garrett can be. I mean, he's considered to be one of the best players in the league, so that's something.
Second down 4. Addison reversing field. Shot by Taki, and then was brought down by Myles Garrett.
And I guess when you're a top player in the league, a slight change in your wardrobe can also trigger a random drug test. Honestly, I kid you not, this is exactly what happened with the poor guy. You see, he's used to playing football while wearing sleeves. And well, if I'm being honest, that's something everyone's used to as well.
Find anybody, and he tries to get away and cannot. He takes the sack. Myles Garrett.
Now, from the looks of it, NFL isn't the biggest fan of even the slightest changes. After all, just seeing his bare biceps sounded an alarm in their heads that led to a drug test. Well, this is something that happened a year ago, and if you saw him on the field that day, you'd see what I mean.
And off the play action, pressure coming, Murray in trouble, down he goes! Myles Garrett.
He looked like a complete bodybuilder, but the player himself was very confused with the NFL's reaction to his wardrobe change. He took to his Twitter account and wrote that he went sleeveless for one game and the league hit him with a random drug test in the morning. Well, from the way the players are dealing with this matter, all of this just seems like one big joke in the world of the NFL.
From the 10, second and 18. Thibodeau got there, got the ball out.
Now, this player that I'll be telling you about next wasn't exactly selected for a ridiculous reason, but everything surrounding his drug tests was definitely weird. Now, you can be the judge of this for yourself. Does getting tested for drugs 11 times sound all right to you? This gives the impression that the league was just waiting to catch him. But here's the thing, all these tests are apparently random. I honestly don't understand how one player can get selected 7 times at random for a drug test, but the fact that he got selected 7 times in 11 weeks, that's even crazier.
Darnold has been steady, going deep for DJ Moore, and he's got it!
This brings the possibility of this happening to 0.17%. Wow, either the NFL doesn't like him at all, or the man has got really tough luck. Well, whatever it may be, the league and the union have been trying to keep things under control. Of course, they don't want it turning into a giant conspiracy. NFL has been clear about the fact that random tests are selected by an algorithm. I guess the algorithm has a grudge against Reed.
We started talking to the team a couple weeks after the season ended. I was fine with that. We were going to see where it went and if it went farther.
Oh, and according to the NFL policy, 10 players must be tested every week, and most of the time, one of those spots seems to be reserved for poor Eric. That really sucks, man. Anyway, with that being said, it's a wrap for the NFL and its ridiculous drug testing policies.